Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Thank you very much for joining me in this second video. And what we're going to be doing today is, well, first of all, I've noticed a slight issue that I'm going to have, which I'm just about to fix. There we go. So I've been setting up a webcam for head tracking and all that kind of stuff on my monitor, and it was covering this top bar, so I couldn't see how much funds we had or anything like that. But anyway, what are we going to be doing in this video? Well, I think the first thing we should do is probably go to mission control and see what is available for us. So we did the first two. We got some scientific data, and we launched our first vessel. What we're going to be doing in this video is, well, first of all, actually, before we do any of this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change our flag. We're going to go for a different flag for now, because if this is going to become a series, I need to get myself a really nice flag. But we're going to start with the default We're going to start with the default Kerbal Space Program flag. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to design a Kerbal Aerospace Engineering Agency flag sort of thing at some point. And I'll be doing that actually on Discord, so I'll be designing that and bringing it up after I've done my own logo or something, or maybe before I've done my own logo. So anyone on Discord, you guys are going to be able to influence that decision and the way I design that flag. So hopefully that should be a bit of community participation. And if you guys are interested in joining up the Discord, then please do visit my Patreon scheme. Link to that is in the description box below. Any amount donated will give you access to Discord for that month. So yeah, that's how that works. But anyway, away from that, back to, we've changed our flag. We need to go over here now. Conduct a focus observational survey of Kerbin. I don't think that's something I can do quite yet. It expires in 1 day though, and the problem is I can only take 2 at once. So really I need to, it's these I think I need to be taking, like that one that expires in less than a day. If you guys aren't aware, I think it's 1 day on Kerbin is 6 hours, and how many days make a year? I can't remember. 100 days? Is it 100 days make a year? I can't exactly remember. We'll get to that. Anyway, so what I'm thinking we're going to do is forget the escape the atmosphere one. Even though we're going to get a lot of money for that, I think the first thing we should probably do is we should haul this hammer booster up. So let's take that. We're going to take the hammer booster. Is there anything else that we can do? Test the Mark 16 parachute in flight over Kerbin. I mean, I think we can take that as well. So let's see if we can do both of them together. So we'll do those two and then grab another 2 at the end of this video, or even if we do it beforehand. Let's see how quickly we can develop and design things. Let's see. I'm going to have to put my aerospace knowledge to the test here. Although most likely it's not really going to be too much of a test. But anyway, what am I going to call this spacecraft or whatever it is? I think we should call it the HARP Mark 1. Or no, the HARP prototype. Yeah, let's call it the HARP prototype. So why have we called it the HARP prototype? Well, we're going to be using the hammer rocket propelled booster. So this one here, the solid fuel booster. So I've called it the HARP, because that's the hammer part, that's the rocket, and that's the program. So this is the hammer rocket program prototype. So that's what this is going to be. So that's the one we're going to be using. So let's bring that in and stick that at the bottom. Now, I'm a little bit, I'll be honest, I'm worried about this one. I'm worried about this one. I don't have my calculator with me, but just if I pin that, just looking at that, that's a lot of thrust. 198 kilonewtons of thrust in the atmosphere. That's a lot of thrust. Flame out under 10%. Solid fuel 15 per second is what it burns, and it carries 375. That's gonna be a 30-second burn. That's a long burn, or no, a 25-second burn. That's a 25-second burn or so that it's going to do. And a 25-second burn, 197 kilonewtons with something that weighs, let's have a look at the weight of this. 4.3 tons. Take into account the acceleration that we're going to get from this. Ooh. Up we go. Sorry, I'm trying to do some maths here right now. We're going to end up... We're certainly going to end up somewhere up in about 100,000 kilometers. I think we're going to end up a good 100,000... Sorry, 100,000 meters, not 100,000 kilometers. We're going to end up around 100 kilometers above the surface of Kerbin. And the problem is, I think the atmosphere, if I remember correctly, is 72,500 meters. So 72.5 kilometers is where we enter space officially. And that's going to get us to 100,000. That's not what we need. That's not what we need. Right. Anyway, the other things we need on that, we are going to sort that out in a moment. I need to bring the parachute on board. And we did unlock these. Now, I think we should get these. I think they're going to help us. So let's unlock that and unlock that. I mean, we can spend the money. We've got plenty of money now. And I'm actually going to mount a drogue chute. I think I'm going to mount a drogue chute on this at some point. Approximately 424 meters per second. Okay, and 264 meters per second is its safe deployment speed on Kerbin. It says at home, so that's on Kerbin according to the atmosphere and everything. So we can deploy that a lot quicker. So I think that might be the safe bet. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add one of those there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add that on the back. So now what I'm going to do is if I get these set up in different groups, we've got the initial group is going to fire the booster. The second one is going to activate the drogue chute. And then we're going to activate the parachute. That works for me. Okay. Now, for this, if I were to do that and that, we're still going to get a 25-second burn out of this, roughly. But the height we're going to get from this now, with that much fuel and half the thrust, is going to be... It's not going to be 50%, it's going to be less than 50% of the height. We're probably looking at about 40,000 meters. 40,000, maybe 30,000 meters is what we're looking at here before it dies out. I feel like... I don't know, I feel like that might be better. That might be a good one for us. And I'd rather this comes out at 3,000. And then this comes out 1,500. I feel like that's going to be good for us. As you can see, I did actually try and make a hop. But I didn't actually do anything with it. It's exactly the same. As a matter of fact, I can actually delete that. That was from an episode where I started making it and I realized it was a bad idea to make it at that point in time. But I think it's the exact same thing I designed. I'm fairly certain it's the exact same thing I designed. There may have been a science pod on that one, I'm not too sure. So we've got the service bays as well, but we're not going to do anything with the service bay because this is, like I said, it's a prototype for that. In fact, we can even do hammer, rocket, and parachute prototype. There you go, hop. That's even better. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's bring that down, like so. That looks roughly centered. I'm going to save that. I'm not entirely sure about how this is going to pan out, because I haven't got my calculator with me and I'm not doing... I really should be doing these calculations properly. But let's see. Jebediah Kerman is in the seat. And we can... Now see, if we were to switch on SAS, we're going to come back straight back down here, right? So we could do that. Reaction wheels on normal. Control from here, no, we're not going to do that. Lights on, we can do a crew report. I feel like we should do a crew report once we're at our maximum. So, okay. Cannot transmit science, we're fine. Direct connection to the space center. Okay, we are going to lift off. And hopefully this is going to go well. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Hop 1. Now let's see how high up we get. As a matter of fact, we're doing a lot better than I thought we would. I thought we might even get as far up as like 30,000 meters. We may only get to about 30,000 meters? Maybe I was thinking 3,000 meters. Surely. I don't know. No, I must have been thinking 30,000 meters because we're coming up to 11, 12 right there. 13, 14. We're looking at maybe 17,000. No, we're still going to be climbing. 18, 19. There's the atmosphere. I believe it was F1 to get... Is it F2 to get rid of that? There we go. You can take a screenshot right there. Look at that. That's our first time out in space. Right, 21. No, I think I was roughly where I needed to be on that. Now the problem is the return. That's going to be the problem. I don't have anything to slow me down at all, and that's concerning for me. 25. I think I was fairly right with about 30,000. Actually, did I say 30,000? Did I say 40,000? In any case, at this point in time, I can do a crew report. Yep. We'll get some science for that. We will keep that. And now we will have the worry. Now for this, I have a feeling, what if I were to try and slow this down? Let's bring that nose pointing downwards. In fact, no, not even downwards. Let's see if we can use that to slow it down. I feel like that might help us as we start coming back into the atmosphere. I still feel like this is going to be way too fast though. But I am fighting it. And when we get to about 450-ish meters per second, I feel like I'm going to have to deploy a parachute. Or something like that. I feel like this is a good time to do this. That's actually worked. That's actually worked, and as a matter of fact, I can deploy the second one now at the same time. And then if I cancel the SAS, that should roll. Now, I should be able to... No, I can't really tilt it forward. I suppose the aerodynamics is pushing that nose down. But we should get this spacecraft or rocket slowing down a fair amount. I'm going to switch on SAS again just to help keep that balanced. There goes the deployment. I can now switch SAS off. That's gone really well, that has. Alright, what did we just gain here? Contract complete. Contract complete. Contract complete. Contract complete. Contract complete. Right, which ones didn't... The one we haven't done is tested the parachute. Right, so I don't know what to do with the parachute one. But okay, we managed to complete the contract. Right, at this point in time, I feel like the drogue chute may no longer be needed. Although I am going to keep it, and we are going to do a water splashdown. And the reason I'm keeping it is because we're doing almost 8 meters per second. I think the hammer engine only likes 7. And that's a bit of a concern. I suppose I would need 2 parachutes to increase the air resistance to slow this down even further. But that's why I'm keeping the drogue chute, because I feel that single parachute is going to give us, I don't know, maybe 10 meters per second looking at the relative surface area of them. So that's what I'm thinking. I think we'll do that for the last part. Let's have a nice look at it as it comes back down. There's the space center. Look at that. There we go. That's nice. Now hopefully, because it's a water landing, I'm hoping it doesn't explode. It did not explode. Alright, and we have landed safely, splashed down on the water. Fantastic. Let's recover that vessel. And let's see what we got from that. We should get some science for water landing, right? No. We earned 13 science. No, 5.3 science. We only have 13 science. 4.5 from the crew report. And then 0.8 from the recovery. And we basically recovered everything, which is great from the hot prototype. No XP gain for that fellow. And we can go over to mission control and see what's active. That's the one that's active. Now, how do we do this? 100 to 170 meters per second. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to get to 4,000 to 8,000 meters, and we need to deploy that. We need to be doing that speed at 4 to 8,000 meters. Okay. Expires in 4... Right, okay, there we go. Looks like there's 400 and... it says 420... Was it 1 year that it had? So it's 426 days in a year? That's a little bit confusing. Okay, let's try and launch this again. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the VAB. We're going to drop the fuel on this even further. So now that should be... I mean, that's even less than that. We know we can safely bring this down. I feel like that's going to be the safe. That's going to be safe for us. And then this, I'm going to actually crank up. Did it say 4,000 meters? I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here, but... Oh, maybe I'm supposed to deploy it at that height. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. So let's do that. So we're going to run the hot prototype again. That's fine, because it works for us. And we should be able to then get the second bit of science there. So launch pad, hot prototype. What's this? Why have I got two of them now? I don't understand. Launch the vessel, which are not available. What? Hang on a minute. Did I not unlock that? Apparently not. Okay, well, I'll unlock that now. I mean, I've got plenty of money. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Let's launch that. I pressed exit. If we just go to launch, it should sort it out of its own accord. Right. So we're just trying to get to 4,000 meters, if I got that correct. If I can... There we go. Kerbin flying. Right, let's leave that up this time around. So we'll take off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Up we go. Up we go. And we have sped up quite significantly. And now we're slowing down even more significantly. That was a failure. That was a failure of epic proportions. I should have put in... Ooh. Okay, well, quickly. Crew report. We'll try and get something from this. Oh, nothing. Well, that's rubbish. Let's just get both of those deployed. Right. That didn't work. That didn't work at all. So that was a failure. We'll go again. I think we need to add a bit more fuel in. Good thing we're not paying for this. I think. I hope we're not paying for this. So we did manage to get up to that speed, but then by the time we reached 2,000 meters, we'd run out of oomph. Working on the acceleration, I think giving ourselves about 30% more fuel, maybe? Might do the trick. What is that? What's that little mound over there? This is going to be... This is going to destroy itself. I feel like this is going to destroy itself at the speed it's coming down at. I feel like it's going to destroy itself. Yeah, I thought so. Huh. Alright, well, we'll recover that. Unfortunately, it looks like everything else is gone. Okay. Oh, we recovered a little bit. Let's go back to the VAB. And I tell you what, let's make a slight adjustment here. So, if we do that, and keep the thrust to about that, we should be okay. And I want to... Yeah, I tell you what I want to do. This is going to be interesting. If we do this, that should give us some controllability of this. So what we're going to do is, to end this episode, we're going to try and launch this and see exactly what happens. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see exactly what happens on this to end this episode. Liftoff in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up we go. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have this tilted so that it lands in water. Alright, our speed is okay. Where are we going to get to the speed that I need? Oh, no, 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 no. 7, 8, 9. Did it. That was very, very close. And I'm hoping that with the tilt that we had, we should end up in the water. I'm really hoping we end up in the drink here. And the drogue chute should be coming out in 3, 2, 1 now. Why is that not deploying? Have I broken something? Oh, it was 3,000 meters. Okay, not 3,500. And the main parachute should be deploying in... Let's see. Should be at 1,500 meters. Stop spinning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. About now? There it goes. That was about 2 seconds off. Alright, and that should get us in the water, which should save our hammer engine. That's a good place to end. We end on a good note. Yeah, definitely end on a good note. So, we've tested the Mark 16 parachute. That's great. That's been a success. Next episode, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start getting a calculator out. I think that's going to be a good idea. Start doing some equations, start doing some calculations. Although I could just do it on the fly. I mean, we're still on kerbing. Things haven't gone disastrous yet. We did have a failure, but we didn't have a disaster. What on earth is that? That's really weird. I might go explore that in the next video. Kind of want to do ground vehicles as well, but I suppose we can't really do ground vehicles just yet. There we go. That went pretty well, even though I had the time warp on. That's landed. We can recover that vessel. Job done. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on what is this called? Kerbal Space Program. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Can we? Yes, we can. There we go. We could unlock that. We can't unlock this because we don't have enough research. So we've unlocked stability now, which means that we have an aerodynamic nose cone, winglets, and a radial decoupler. That's great. Next up, we need to work towards general rocketry. I think that's going to be what we need to work towards next. We will unlock all of those. Job done. I will save it there. Last but not least, do support me on Patreon. Link to that is in the description box below. Your support would be massively, massively appreciated. And you'll be able to join my Discord channel, or Discord server, should I say, where there's a whole lot of stuff going on and you get to influence my decision and just in general have a chat with me, see where I'm taking the channel, give your advice, give your inputs, so on and so forth. So that would be really great, and I'd love to see you guys on that server. I think that's about it. Yeah, next time out, we'll see what we can come up with. I will see you guys in the next episode of Kerbal Space Program.